You already know their names. You still don't know why. Tonight that changes. Israel Keyes and the geometry that kept him invisible for 15 years, 1979. Cohen and Felson publish one diagram that predicts almost every serial offender who comes after them. 3 boxes, 3 arrows. Motivated offender, suitable target, absence of a capable guardian. When all 3 points align, crime becomes statistically inevitable. This is routine activity theory. No trauma required, no demons. Just opportunity. Israel Keyes read that paper. Then he spent the rest of his life becoming its perfect proof. Between 1997 and 2012, the FBI links Keyes to 11 murders. He claimed 40. We will never know the real number because he designed his crimes to be statistically invisible. No trophies. No manifestos, no repeat states, one-way tickets bought with cash, phones left at home, kill kits buried years in advance. He described himself as one of the most careful people you will ever meet. He was right. Place him inside the triangle. Box 1, motivated offender. On Hare's psychopathy checklist, Keyes scored 37 out of 40. TEI accounts for 0.2% of the population. But the real fuel was simpler, boredom removal. His own words, "I have a constant craving for new experiences. Nothing else matters." Box 2, suitable target. Keyes did not choose victims by type. He chose them by geometry. Starting 2001, he buried buckets of guns, zip ties, Drano, and cash across America. Some stayed underground for years. He only dug one up when the 3rd point lined up. Box 3, absence of capable guardian. This is where Keyes' masterpiece, pellet guns to disable cameras, phone lines cut the night before, crimes in sub-zero weather, to minimize footfall, clothing washed in bleach in hotel sinks. Every abduction under 150 seconds, February 1st, 2012. Common Grounds Espresso Hut, Anchorage, 8:01 p.m. -3 degrees Fahrenheit, -19.4 degrees Celsius. Samantha Koenig closes alone. Black ski mask, 6'2", no wasted motion. 134 seconds later, the kiosk is empty. No scream on the audio. He drives her to his shed, sexually assaults her, strangles her, sews her eyelids open with fishing line, takes the ransom photo 2 weeks later with the corpse, dismembers the body under the ice of Matanuska Lake. The triangle was perfect. The moment Samantha disappeared, the kiosk installed interior cameras and required 2 closers. Keyes never hunted in Anchorage again. He simply flew somewhere else and waited for the next perfect triangle. Confirmed and strongly suspected cases. 2001 to 2006 Washington caches. June 2011, Bill and Lorraine Currier, Essex, Vermont. Possible 2011 Deborah Feldman disappearance. Possible James Lamar Tidwell. The 40. He claimed every single one fits the triangle with 0 deviation. December 2nd, 2012, Anchorage jail cell. Keyes slits his left wrist with a razor blade shaved from a pencil, then strangles himself with a bedsheet. Found beneath his body was the following note.
"Where will you go, you clever little worm, if you bleed your host dry? Back in your ride, the night is still young, streetlights push back the black eye-neat rose. Off to the right, a graveyard appears, lines of stones, bodies molder below. Turn away quick, bob your head to the sea. As straight through that stop sign, roll loaded truck with lights off slams into you broadside. Your flesh smashed as metal explodes. You may have been free, you loved living your lie. Fate had its own scheme, crushed like a bug you still die. Soon, now, you'll join those ranks of dead, or your ashes the wind will soon blow. Family and friends will shed a few tears, pretend it's off to heaven you go. But the reality is, you were just bones and meat, and with your brain died also your soul. Send the dying to wait for their death in the comfort of retirement homes. Quietly, quickly say, "It's for the best. It's best for you, so their fate you'll not know." Turn a blind eye back to the screen. Soak in your reality shows. Stand in front of your mirror and you preen, in a plastic castle you call home. Land of the free, land of the lie, land of scheme Americanize. Consume what you don't need, stars you idolize. Pursue what you admit is a dream, then it's American die. Get in your big car so you can get to work fast, on roads made of dinosaur bones. Punch in on the clock and sit on your ass, playing stupid ass games on your phone. Paper on your wall says you got smarts. The test that you took told you so, but you would still crawl like the vermin you are, once your precious power grid's blown. Land of the free, land of the lie, land of the scheme, Americanize. Now that I have you held tight, I will tell you a story. Speak soft in your ear so you know that it's true. You're my love at first sight, and though you're scared to be near me, my words penetrate your thoughts now in an intimate prelude. I looked in your eyes, they were so dark, warm and trusting, as though you had not a worry or care. The more guileless sick the game, the better potential to fill up those pools with your fear. Your face framed in dark curls like a portrait. The sun shone through highlights of red. What color, I wonder, and how straight will it turn plastered back with the sweat of your blood? Your wet lips were a promise of a secret, unspoken, nervous laugh as it burst like a pulse of blood from your throat. There will be no more laughter here. I feel your body tense up, my hand now on your shoulder, your eyes. Forget the lady called Luck. She does not abide near me, for her powers don't extend to those who are dead. Illegible words, would that I could keep you, let you be the master of your own fate, knowing full well what's at stake. My pretty captive butterfly, colorful wings my hand smears. I somehow repaint them with punishment and tears. Violent metamorphosis emerge my dark moth princess. I would come often and worship on the altar of your flesh. You shudder with revulsion, 6, and try to shrink far from me. I'll have you tied down and begging to become my Stockholm sweetie. Okay, talk is over, words are placid and weak. Back it with action or it all comes off cheap. Watch close while I work now. Feel the electric shock of my touch. Open my trembling flower, or your petals I'll crush.
So what does routine activity theory actually tell us about Israel Keyes? It tells us he was never a supernatural evil. He was simply the first offender who treated the triangle as an engineering problem. He manufactured motivation by letting boredom become lethal. He manufactured suitable targets by refusing to have a type. He manufactured the absence of guardians with patience measured in years. Remove any one of those 3 engineered conditions and Israel Keyes is just another angry drifter who never kills anyone. Leave all 3 in place, and you get 15 years, 12 states, an unknown number of graves, and an FBI file that ends with the haunting words, further victims probable, locations unknown. This criminological theory doesn't need demons, it only needs 3 points to line up, and Keyes waited for these 3 to line up. Thank you for watching Episode 1. If this is the kind of true crime you've been missing, subscribe. Next time, Dennis Rader, BTK, and the 5 lies that let a church president torture children between Sunday sermons. The triangle is always watching.